We'll have to hope Hulkenberg can find us a carriage.
Können wir nicht einfach das nehmen von den Banditen, die sie wahrscheinlich kalt gemacht haben?
As for us, I expect we should see about finding a monster to slay. If it's not impressive enough, Luis won't look twice at you.
Wo ist der Drache hin?
Some postings over there. They should be offering bounties on monsters the guard can't handle. Let's take a look.
Ist ja nicht so, als ob wir diesen fetten Manticore nicht kalt gemacht hätten.
Looks like everyone else had the same idea.
One of these bounties is bound to make me stand out. But which? Bigger is probably better.
Ja, aber du solltest halt auch Kampffähigkeit mitbringen, ne?
Hang on. There's nothing but small-time contracts here.
You lot here for this tournament, then? Bit slow, I'm afraid. Most of my worthiest monster bills have already been snapped up by other competitors.
How about requests on anything aside from monsters? Bounties include criminals too, right?
I suppose I've got one of those, yeah.
Let's see. Ugh, he's horrible. Heisme, a villainous kidnapper. Looks like the army's been trying to catch him for a while now.
This might just be perfect.
Whoa. You have any idea who that is?
Ja, was bist du, Zuhälter?
That man's an elite. An ex-royal knight, they say. He'd make short work of a scrawny little urchin, you can be sure of that. Besides, didn't you hear what it is they're actually looking for?
Oh, of course. It's about whoever can bring in the biggest monster head, right?
If you imbeciles can't even get that straight, you've no chance at winning. They want kingly types, not children play-acting.
Stuck-up little... Is that the kind of competition we can expect?
Yep.
He was right about the rules, though. What are you thinking?
Don't worry, I know what I'm doing.
We're supposed to get a monster's head. So why are you going for a criminal? Any idea what he's up to?
Vielleicht ist sein Kopf groß.
Maybe it's because we don't actually have to win.
Sharp as always, Captain.
Stimmt, es geht in erster Linie darum, ja ein Ding. Erstens die Unterstützung der Leute sich zu sichern. Und mit so einem... Ich meine, Monster töten, okay, aber wenn du halt jemanden, der wo eine Gefahr für die Gesellschaft ist, gut, Monster natürlich teilweise auch, aber aus dem Weg räumst, könnten natürlich auch viele beeindruckt sein. Genauso wie es dazu darum ja geht, dass man Louis auf sich aufmerksam macht.
Don't worry, I'll explain everything later.
As long as you can convince Hulkenberg, I guess.
Ho there! Are you really taking the bounty on Heisme? You three must be heaven sent. Please, would you listen to our plight?
Würdevoller Soldat, die gibt's hier auch. Man hat bisher nur Typen mit Vorurteilen gesehen und Arschgeigen.
Your pardon, gentlemen. I'm Barden, a guard captain from Atira, a town to the south. The bounty on Heisme is up at my behest.
A guard captain? This fellow's made some powerful enemies.
We can't afford lenience. On top of his past crimes, Heisme has stooped to abducting our wee ones. Our children. Selling them off, some say. If our city becomes known for nightly disappearances, what sane resident would stay? Community and trade will dwindle and die.
But he's just a lone kidnapper, right?
That's the trouble. He makes his hideout somewhere too dangerous for our soldiers to tread. Deep in the territory of vicious giant worms. We've no idea how he manages to operate out there without getting devoured himself.
I see. Tricky problem indeed.
I'd no choice but to swallow my pride and post a bounty. Yet no matter how many times I renew the bill, none have taken it. A pitiful sight, isn't it? A soldier who can't protect his home, whether by strength or by surrender. Laugh if you must.
Wir würden niemals lachen.
We would never laugh at such a plight.
You only cast away your honor in the name of protection. Nothing pitiful in that.
Ah, thanks to you. That you'd accept such a perilous request, even with this tournament looming over everything. Closure. Thank you all, and thank God for bringing you to me. In that case, we shall meet in Martira, the old castle town. Please, make haste.
Well, no backing out of this now. You sure this is what we want?
Yep.
Way I see it, if we want to make a big impact this late, it's going to take some creativity.
Das stimmt natürlich auch wieder.
Besides, this is apparently a knight-turned-kidnapper. The man can't be allowed to go on. What?
I guess that's fair.
I'll convince Hulkenberg. Somehow. You go on and accept the contract.
Hä? Wo gehen wir jetzt hin?
What to do?
All right then.
Wait!
Achso, das war, wir bleiben hier.
Really now?
Das Laden zu führen, ich höre das Schnarchkonzert der schlafenden Soldaten.
Really now?
Da lang? Hä?
Hm?
Oh. Wartungsräume für neue Rekruten, Leidenschaft reden, bla bla bla. Warte mal, muss ich den einfach hier annehmen? Sagen wir nicht, die denken, bla bla bla, Kühnheit der Jugend. Abbrucharbeiter Gottart. Glaube ich, ein Neuling ohne nennenswerte Geschichte oder Erfahrung als König? Bei dem Gedanken wird mir übel. Ja, die alle Anführer dieses Landes ist ein würdiger Mann in hohem Alter mit langjähriger Erfahrung. Und doch wagen aufstehende Jugendliche wie Sie und Louis es. Dann ist ja auch egal, Sie werden nicht länger kämpfen können, während Sie sich so viel Sie wollen. Zu Ihrer Beerdigung wäre ich bereit, eine Grabrede zu halten. Ja, ist wohl auch ein Kandidat. Was war denn das jetzt?
Hey!
Kopfgeldvertrag für Heismer anzunehmen. Zumeist sind Sie dafür wirklich gut genug. Ich kann keine Verantwortung übernehmen, falls Sie... Ja, natürlich. Sie sind schon ein seltsamer Vogel, oder vielleicht auch nur unerfahren. Wenn Sie sich auf Martira wahrscheinlich bekommen Sie dort mehr Informationen.
Let's focus.
Rätselhafter Entführer. Ich muss Heismer finden, fangen, bla bla bla. 100.000! Schwierigkeit 4! Ah, shit. Gut, wir haben den Vertrag, gehen wir fürs erste zurück zum Gasthaus. Ah, Gott. Ich meine, der blöde Stier ist nur Schwierigkeit 2,5.
No registration issues, I trust?
No, indeed. And we found ourselves a perfect target.
Fine work.
Stroll?
See? She's convinced. Nothing to worry about. Don't worry about it. I'll prepare a map of the surrounding areas as well. But never mind that. Have you found us a kingly carriage?
Well, I have made some arrangements. How best to put it? The vessel itself is without peer. So
You don't sound too sure about that.
Warte mal, ich muss noch mal schauen, Alter, das war...
how best to put it? The vessel itself is without peer. Supposedly, it will come to us on the day of the opening ceremony. Oh, no, I'm certain. All I mean to say is, well, you shall soon see for yourself.
Sie hören sich alle nicht so glücklich an.
Well, under the circumstances, I'll take what we can get. And setting that up in a day. Not...
You needn't speak so. In truth, I've just resigned from the Knight's Order. Though 'tis only my bond of service I relinquish, not my title. We will shortly be seeking Luis's esteem. Should it come to light that I am a knight in active service, it may jeopardize our efforts.
Still, you didn't hesitate to leave. I can tell you're serious about this.
'Twas not an abrupt parting. I've come to doubt the Order since returning to find them serving the Santifex and not the Royals. Those who refused the Church's rule were cast out for their defiance. I only hope those fallen knights found useful employ elsewhere.
Sounds like you've been through a lot too.
Well, in any case, we can focus on our bounty contract now. Let's make sure we get some proper rest tonight.
Hä? Morgen findet die Eröffnung für das Turnier
Let's
statt?
rest.
Bleiben wir heute einfach daheim und ruhen uns aus.
Now then.
Vorbereitungen verlaufen auch mal problemlos, nun abgesehen von einer gewaltigen Unsicherheit. Ach egal, hör nicht auf mich, aber bitte sei nicht überrascht, was auch immer geschehen mag. Können wir mit Maria was machen? Habe ich Maria noch nicht gesehen. Ich frage mich, ob alles in Ordnung ist. Wir morgen also bei der Eröffnungsfeier sein. Ich bin schon ein bisschen aufgeregt, jetzt wo ich drüber nachdenke. Ausruhen.
Good night.
Spät nachts. Kommt die Maria?
Can I come in?
Ja. Magst du noch etwas lesen?
Want to read some more?
Not today. You're all leaving tomorrow, right? I'll be cheering for you. So I just... Oh no. I promised Miss Fabian I wouldn't cry.
Mach dir keine Sorgen.
It's all right. You don't have to worry.
Papa was trying to stop a bad man, you said. And that's what you're all doing too, isn't it? Please come back home safe. I'll be waiting here as long as it takes.
Versprochen.
It's a promise.
All right. Promise? The next time I see you again, can you tell me more about the outside world?
This one's important.
Ah, aus erster Hand. Ich muss eine Geschichte von meinen Reisen finden und Maria erzählen, die auf meine Rückkehr wartet. Antitoxischer Hasenbraten. Ich meine, ich brauche jetzt da keine Belohnung, ne? Aber das ist eine sehr strange Belohnung.
I never got a chance to say this to Papa. So, thank you. I'll go to bed now.
Captain, may I have a moment?
Good night.
I was hoping for a chance to speak before we set out. Since our meeting, I've done nothing but impose on you. Now, you risk your very life for this cause. 'Tis no easy burden.
Ach, Schmarre.
It pains me to see. When I think of how this may yet save His Highness, I lose sight of all else. Such disregard ill becomes me.
Don't worry about it.
'Tis kind of you to say. But that book... We met once before, on a carriage bound for the capital. Do you recall?
Hast du mich erst rausschmeißen lassen? Ja.
Now that you mention it...
My apologies. I thought only to minimize casualties, one way or another. So, 'tis a novel envisioning an ideal world. Curious to see a utopian novel these days. I'd thought them long since banned. Ah, you needn't worry. I've no intention of taking it from you. I've sometimes wondered why such books were forbidden. Rumors say the Sanctists objected to their contents.
Ja, weil das die typische Kirchenscheiße ist. Ich habe an sich kein Problem gegen Kirchen, solange sie Gutes tun. Aber wenn dann Kirchen nur für ihren Profit arbeiten, das ist halt dann... Ich meine, da kannst du auch gleich eine Firma nennen und keine Kirche, Alter.
Yet I wonder, how could a simple book have possibly stung them so? Do you mind if I read a passage or two?
Wie alle immer kommen und mit mir lesen wollen. Ich bin der Buchmeister. Pennt er wieder weg?
So, it is a fiction written as if a personal account. This chapter seems to concern the system by which the nation's leader is decided. In this country, one cannot become even a statesman, much less sovereign, without the consent of the people. Those who aspire to statecraft must first solemnly swear before the people what they will do in service of their country. Should they earn title but break their word, they are denounced and stripped of power. Such is the authority of the people. In this way, it is the people who are the land's true king. Quite the opposite of our own country. Now I see why our upper echelons would abolish such texts. Had our lands embraced such accountability, perhaps His Royal Highness would not have suffered such a fate. No. As a knight, 'tis not my place to say. I must clear my head of these fantasies. In the end, clinging to a dream will do me no good. Oh, I suppose 'tis not so bad to dream now and then. It takes power to walk the path of our dearest hopes. Perhaps that is the purpose of this newfound strength. My dearest dream, 'tis to save His Highness, even at the cost of my life.
Sorry, mit dem coolen Namen kann ich, mit dem speziellen Namen kann ich nicht sterben
marches
lassen.
on, and the age of a new king draws nearer.
Hülkenberg, Alter. Oh. Oh.
Judah!
Lady Judah!
Mit so einem Mikro?
Even I'm feeling the heat. Well, I suppose it's time to fan the flames.
Aber ist sie nicht auch irgendwie ein normaler Mensch oder so?
Welcome one and all to the inauguration of the tournament for the throne. For the first time, the crown is anyone's to claim, as long as the aspirants can complete 3 grueling challenges.
Wow, a Sanctus Crier! He's perfect for this!
Let's discuss the venues. We kick off in the west, in the Pearl of the Coast, the Principality of Oceania's harbour city capital, Port Brilehaven. There, they face their first challenge, the Exhibition of the Brave. Each contender must bring back the head of a monster, a mark of their prowess and courage. Next, our would-be monarchs head east. Upon the misty peaks, we arrive in the Principality of Montario's beautiful city of faith, Alterbury Heights. And finally, our heroes make their well-deserved return home to Grand Trad. But first, let's do introductions. It's time to meet those risking their lives for the crown. Closest to the throne, I know him, you know him. It's Sanctism's one and only 78 Sanctifex, His Eminence, Forden!
Victory to Sanctifex Forden! I claim no great ambition.
nor any heated calls to action. All I wish is to restore order for our people and to safeguard our land from the threats beyond. This chaos we face is but one of God's many trials. Let us restore our kingdom's glory together!
Moving right along, we come next to His Eminence's champion, the very spear in his hand, the warrior monk captain of the Crown Theocracy, Master Guido!
I come before you only in loyal service of His Eminence. I relinquish the throne to him gladly. But those who would seize the crown by force, I will teach you to fear God and to fear me!
So much for this being a fair competition. How many horses do the Sanctus have in this race?
Genug.
Still, it's not over by far. The Luis supporters won't take this lying down.
What cowardice, crier! Where's Count Louise?
All right, settle down. At this time, I can report that Count Luis has not applied to enter the tournament.
What? He's not even entering?
Then what becomes of us? Our entire purpose in this race was to get closer to him.
Don't worry. He's definitely paying attention. He's only in second as it is, so we can't afford to ignore this whole production. Sit tight. I'm sure he'll make a move soon.
All right. For those Count Luis supporters, you might want to meet our next entrant. A rising socialite, a man of ambition, godless and fearless, the brash young warrior serving Count Luis, Gladel, the Black Hound.
Him? So he was one of Luis's men.
The fallen king embraced sanctism and all its holy tenets, and for what? He was nothing before Lord Luis. Look to the sky all you wish. No god can save you! What our country needs is power!
Well, it's not quite all the contenders, but let's get on with the introductions. The great liberal merchant, it's Roger Ward. By war, by conquest, by right, it's Rudolph Krauss. In it more for the gauntlet runners than the throne, it's Lena Caden. Sure to be popular by pledging free drinks for life, it's Loveless O'Shea. Uplifting the beautiful and deposing the hideous, it's Milo Maurizio.
Wow. If we lose this, I think the country has some even bigger problems.
Now, I do believe we have one final candidate. Do we have an Elden boy present? Come on, let's see a face.
Oh, weh.
What? An elder? Disgraceful. Is this the only way you could think to distinguish yourself?
By the way, the ride you applied with still hasn't arrived. And if it doesn't show up by the time the noon bell rings, you're disqualified. All right?
Hey! What's going on?
That nitwit! What is he doing?
So, contestants, are you ready?
What? Blast, I say! Wait! Confound you, behave!
Was ist das, Alter?
A land runner? It's quick!
Wait, it's headed right for the...
It'll crash!
Whoa!
What the heck is that?
Wonderful. So much for a first impression.
What hell? Isn't he a marvel, chums?
You dolt! You nearly brought down the cathedral! Have a care, you buffoon. 'Twas bad enough when Luis did it the first time. That feckless, shameless old fool!
Not bad, kid. Guess you've got some interesting tricks up your sleeve after all.
Right! I'd call that a full roster. Ladies and gentlemen, race across the land. Go! Prove yourself worthy and earn your crown. For the people, for the throne. Let the games begin!
We must take to the road.
Come on, come on! So fast! Gotta hold on to something or I'll get blown up!
It's incredible!
Okay, und wer zur Hölle ist jetzt das, Alter? 5000, yeah! Sind wir schon fast auf 1. Am Ende stach ich mehr heraus als erwartet und ich konnte das Interesse vieler Leute wecken. Ich betrachte dies als Teil der Mission, den Prinzen zu retten.
Just a sec.
Hey, was mit dem Ding los? Soll das etwa unsere Kutsche sein?
Can you hear me?
Soll ich einfach auf der Hauptstraße fahren? Die anderen scheinen das auch zu tun. Du bist genauso verrückt wie dieser Läufer. Danke für das Kompliment, kleine Dame. Kannst du mir bitte die Koordinaten für diesen kleinen Testlauf durchgeben? Uff, was zur Hölle ist los? Unser nächstes Ziel ist also die alte Schlossstadt Martira. Von hier aus liegt sie ziemlich weit im Süden. Aber kann ich das dann noch machen?
Oh, I smell trouble.
Grand Trot. Oh.
Let's see here.
Achso, okay, also ich gebe jetzt das ein. Tira, was auf dem Bein des Gefährts würde ich sagen 4 Tage und 3 Nächte. 4 Tage und 3 Nächte, das ist um ein Vielfaches schneller als eine Kutsche. Bei dieser Geschwindigkeit sollte die Reise relativ ungefährlich sein. Sehr schön, haltet euch eure Hosen fest. Nächster Halt, alte Schlossstadt Martira.
This is amazing! I don't know a thing about gauntlet runners, but even I can tell this is a hell of a craft. I can hardly believe she's ours to drive.
You're telling me, lad? Feels like ages since I've been out on the open road. This girl's been waiting long enough for her time to shine.
So this is what you used to talk with the driver? Convenient, that. Look, old fellow, are you really on our side? You realize we don't have funds to pay you.
Money? Ha! I'm not in this for the money, boy. What I want is a little gusto. What do you think, lad? Isn't this a rush?
It is at that. Like riding the wind.
That's the ticket. It's been so long since I've had a good chinwag.
Brilliant, isn't it?
Yeah, it's amazing.
You've a good head on your shoulders, boy. Yes, I can tell you're a sharp one. Where to, ladies? The world is our shellfish.
You certainly are a different person behind the wheel.
Hey, Hulkenberg! Can we get an explanation yet?
That man is Neurus. An Ishkia, if 'twas not obvious from the wings. And despite everything, he was heir to a noble house and personal machinist for the royal family.
What?
He's a master engineer, of course, positively peerless. But as you can see, the runners get him a bit excitable.
Gewölbe im Adelsbezirk.
Neurus? Are you there? I'm coming in. Even amidst all this commotion in town, I find you buried in your work.
Too much to do.
As always. To business, then. I must ask a favor. Would you be able to ready a carriage for me?
No new commissions. No time for them. Ask another right.
It is not a new one I require. Before His Highness disappeared, did you not accept a contract to build him a custom carriage? Without a formal owner, I reasoned that it must now lie unused. I was hoping I might borrow it a short while.
But pish and tosh, woman. She is for royal use and naught else.
'Tis an unreasonable request, I know, but I'd not be asking without a grave need. Might I at least see it?
I mean, well,
'Twas specially made for His Highness, yes? Not a work you'd have sold off. Where lies it now?
I've deadlines to meet, dash it. Off with you now. Leave me be.
You've been acting stranger than usual. What ails you?
Whoa!
Good God. Is this a gauntlet runner? The very craft commissioned for His Highness the Prince? Even knowing His Highness was gone, still you toiled away. Oh, Nuras, you are an inspiration. Such nobility of purpose.
Yes. Right.
Wahrscheinlich hat den für sich gebaut.
However, for a craft meant for the royal family, it is rather excessive, isn't it? Did you really build this vehicle exactly to their orders? You cannot mean...
Well, at first, certainly. I followed the blueprints exactly. But then His Highness died, and... well, I couldn't just let the old girl waste away. A masterpiece like her? Collecting dust in storage? No! Unacceptable! Unthinkable! I'm working toward a dream. And this poor old girl is going to help me see it through. And then, finally...
You imbecile! A lowly, brazen court engineer butchering His Highness's inheritance for a hobby! For this mania! You embezzled the royal treasury and disrespected his legacy! Treason!
Mercy, please! Look, take my head if you must, milady, but leave the Balial runner alone.
Look, this runner... 'tis fully operational now, is it? Then I suggest you cooperate, for both our sakes. Finish your tinkering by tomorrow and bring it to the Grand Cathedral as soon as you can.
Eh? What's all this now? You play the proud soldier at me and then pluck it for your own schemes?
'Tis no scheme. I would use it for His Highness's sake.
For His Highness, eh? Hold a tick. Haven't you been looking for him? Wandering across God knows where, last I heard. So if you're back now and now you want a gauntlet runner for His Highness? Is His Highness still alive? That's it! I've got you, haven't I?
'Twas His Highness who gave you refuge while you were only a heretical scholar condemned by the Sanctists. The time has come to repay His mercy.
Understood.
Wie er die Schatzkammer ausgestattet hat.
Can this old duck really handle an undercover operation?
I know what you're thinking, but 'tis at least true that he feels an undying debt of gratitude to the royal family.
Pish and tosh, boy! a little faith. Not to brag, but this old duck's craft might be the fastest gauntlet runner in the kingdom. Why, probably the world.
I think. Maybe.
How encouraging.
All I want is to push this runner as far and as fast as she can go. Show her off to the world. And you? Well, I presume you'd rather work together than have to walk, eh?
I don't know about this, but I guess we'll just have to trust him. What do you think?
Ich denke, wir können auf ihn zählen. Und wenn wir sterben, dann gemeinsam.
I think we can count on him.
If you're sure, I suppose. We'll deal with it if we have to.
Either way, he knows the prince is alive, so we can't just leave him to his own devices. We're all in the same boat. Or runner, I guess.
You lot can handle the fighting, and I'll handle all the driving and grease work. Just make sure you've got a proper plan for all this mess now.
This guy's got no filter. But he has a point. We do need to talk strategy.
So, summing up. Our first trial is to slay a monster. We take its head as proof, then get it to the goal line before the deadline. The bigger the head, the better. Our destination is Port Brilehaven, the capital of the Western Principality of Oceania. It'd be a trek on foot, but this gauntlet runner should make it a snap.
So getting the bounty's head is our next move. And our target is a nefarious criminal who's been kidnapping and selling off children. Right?
A criminal? Did the task not specify a monster's head?
Don't worry, all part of the plan. We don't need to win this thing, we just need to get Luis's attention. Everyone's going to show up with monster heads, and we shake things up with a felon. A knight-turned-kidnapper at that. Shows them we're there for justice.
But to deliberately violate the rules, we risk being disqualified entirely. Then again, 'tis just as likely to win the people's attention and thereby Luis's. What do you think of this plan?
I think it's a perfect idea.
Makes sense, doesn't it? The bounty's Heisme, an ex-knight. I realize that's a little close to home, Hulkenberg, so if you'd rather hang back...
No. His title is precisely why I cannot let his atrocities stand. And yet, 'tis strange indeed that we are hunting a mere man when the trial demands a monster. Then again, our true aim is beyond the ambitions of any other aspirant. Our fate rests in this plan of yours, Stroll.
Thank you. I'll try to ensure your trust isn't misplaced.
Righto. Then our course is set. Feel free to use anything in the gauntlet runner. Even got a bathing room if you could use a wash.
Good to know. We can always look around more thoroughly later.
Yes. You needn't tire yourself out before we arrive.
Well, I'm a tinkerer and not much else. All my fighting happens in the old workshop. But I'll take you wherever you're going for your sake and mine. After all, the wilds out there are no berry picnic, oh no. It's a den of wild beasts and savage scoundrels. And we'll not get past it without days on the road together. So, if you need anything besides a steady hand on the wheel, give me a hoot. Bound to find me in the cockpit or the engine room.
He's certainly an eccentric, but he doesn't seem like a bad person. We'll get used to him.
Ich finde die jetzt schon cool. Fairnessläufer. Der Fairnessläufer ist mit Bereichen für verschiedene Aktivitäten ausgestattet, wie zum Beispiel im Strategieraum, Aufenthaltsraum und der Kombüse. Du kannst zudem von Moors Standorten aus Akademia besuchen. Werfen wir zuerst einen Blick auf den Maschinenraum, sieh dir unterwegs alles in Ruhe an.
Oh yeah?
Ich war noch nie in einem Fairnessläufer, ich würde mir gerne den Maschinenraum ansehen. Jetzt würde mich trotzdem noch eins interessieren. Die Mission ist ja noch da, ne? Endstation Monster, ja. Erhöht Mut, Hingabezünder. Ich hätte es vielleicht nochmal vorher probieren sollen, aber ich meine, man kann es später auch noch machen. Und sagen wir ehrlich, die Zünder, was du wahrscheinlich kaufen kannst, keine Ahnung, ob die großen Vorteile sind. Kombüse zum Kochen. Aber Alter, ist das ruckelig. Echt, Alter? Das sind Kapselhotels? Maschinenraum. Da steht unser Akademia-Freund. Was ist da? Reinigungsgerät mit Griff. Später vielleicht. Das ist fucking Staubsauger. Ist das ein Herz? Ich frage mich, womit diese Kiste läuft. Das erste Mal ein Fairnessläufer? Oh, ich habe mich erschrocken, das Rohr verläuft auch hier. Das sogenannte Läufertelefon, der gibt es in jedem Raum. Ich habe gehört, dass du dir Gedanken über den Antrieb des Schmuckstücks gemacht hast. Fairnessläufer nutzen Maklerkristall als Treibstoff. Früher war eine Reise durch die Wildnis lebensgefährlich, aber dank der Schöpfer des Königreichs wurde der Fairnessläufer geboren. Die Beine des Läufers basieren auf einer riesigen Bestie, selbst im schwierigsten Gelände gibt es keinen Impulsverlust. Ich habe diesen Läufer unter anderem mit Fokus auf das Tempo umgebaut, noch einen Schritt näher an meinen Traum. Welchen Traum? Das ist eine lange Geschichte. Ich zeige dir nur, wenn du zuhören für die nächsten Tage sonst nichts vorhaben. Ah, nicht so wichtig. Vielleicht ein anderes Mal. Nun, vieles an diesem Schmuckstück ist noch in Arbeit. Ich will ihm mit ein paar neuen Tricks beibringen. Freut euch schon mal drauf. Die Sonne geht bald unter. Wir sollten uns also über Nachtlager nachdenken. Im Dunkeln kommen wir nicht weit und auch dieses Schmuckstück braucht mal eine Pause. Die Reise geht weiter, wenn du Zeit im Fairnessläufer verbringst. Nutze die Einrichtung dort, unterhalte Gegenstände, steigere Fähigkeiten und erledige Aufgaben, für die du in der Stadt nicht die Möglichkeit hättest. Oder, ja doch. Du kannst kochen, lesen und die Waschmaschine nutzen. Im Laufe der Zeit werden weitere Aktivitäten verfügbar sein. Außerdem kannst du während der Reise Zeit mit den Verbündeten verbringen, durch sich deine königlichen Tugenden verbessern können. Letztendlich liegt die Wahl bei dir. Okay, das ist echt viel Zeug.
Come on.
Allerdings, dieses seltsame Werkzeug ist ein Reinigungszünder. Der Neuraus modifiziert hat, um Wind zu erschaffen und der wiederum Staub aufsammelt. Ziemlich raffiniert. Das ist nicht leicht ist, aber all das Heben und Bücken stärkt doch sicher deine Beine, oder? Maximale TP steigern. Neuraus Waschmaschine, Marke Eigenbauwäsche zu waschen, kann manchmal durch den Kopf frei machen. Kopfreizepunkt, um maximal MP zu erhöhen. Das ist cool.
Speaking of.
Computer Vordermann gebracht, hast du Hunger? Möchtest du was essen? Ich bin keine Meisterköchin, aber Stroll meint, er wolle ein paar Rezepte ausprobieren, die er in der flüsternden Honigkönig gelernt hat. Warte, was da? Bücherregal ist voll mit interessanten Büchern, die ich lesen könnte. Neue Weltreisetagebuch. Fiktionales Buch über Reise eines Jungen an einer fantastischen Ort namens Neue Welt. Fantasie erhöht sich. Was für ein Strollpenderer? Mir ist das echt betrunken. Alles in Ordnung? Ja, mir geht's gut. Dieses Ding rüttelt so, dass ich nach wie vor nicht wie bei einer Kutsche, da fühle ich mich, du weißt schon, da muss man sich erst gewöhnen. Die Tür wird zu den Hühnern des Läufers, die ist gegen unbefugtes Betreten abgeschlossen. Kann ich mit ihm jetzt über seinen Traum reden? Du hast mir einen ganz schönen Schrecken eingejagt. Wolltest du meine Aufmerksamkeit erregen, Will? Leider, aber ich muss mich jetzt aufs Fahren konzentrieren. Ich bin etwas aus der Übung, komm doch am Abend vorbei. Oh cool, ans Deck kann ich auch. Alter. Es schaut schon irgendwie cool aus. Puh, mir war gar nicht klar, wie lange wir schon keine Pause mehr gemacht haben. Was hast du denn jetzt vor? Läuferaktivität.
Did you know?
Weißt du, in der Regal im Aufenthaltsraum gibt es alle möglichen Bücher, die anders sind als deins, bla bla bla. Das ist der Schwanz für die Stabilität, aber eigentlich Bräuchtest du doch schon fast mindestens. Keine Ahnung, 4 Füße? Weil normal, wenn du doch mit dem einen in die Luft gehst, würde doch das Schiff einfach wegkippen. Weil das oder ist das am Boden da unten? Na, wird's passen. Aber wir können es ja trotzdem eigentlich nicht überall fahren. Ah, da geht's rein. Oh, erwaschen für Magie. Wäsche waschen. Okay, lass uns halt einen Moment. Hier liegt noch an die Wäsche von jemand anderem. Ich hole die Person mal, dann können wir gemeinsam Wäsche waschen. Das Wasser muss eine konstante Temperatur haben, damit man Flecken auf der Kleidung vermeidet. Warum ich am Meister der Wäsche bin, fragst du? Weil meine Eltern mir das praktisch eingebläut haben. Ein Adliger, der seine eigene Wäsche nicht waschen kann, ist des Stoffes nicht wert, den er trägt. Oder so ähnlich. Ich musste alles über verschiedene Materialien lernen. Im Nachhinein denke ich, dass mir so wohl beibringen wollte, meinen Stand nicht auszunutzen. Dieses Wissen hilft mir bis heute zum heutigen Tag. Je mehr Zeit verstreicht, desto mehr verstehe ich, wie großartig meine Eltern waren. Ich kümmere mich um die Wäsche, während Stroll von der Vorzügen sauberer Kleidung sprach. Maximal MP sich erhöht haben, da jetzt begeistert unsere Körper frisch sind. Um 3. Ja, gut. Etwas Geld in der Waschmaschine gefunden, das muss in die Wäsche geraten sein. Gehört mir nicht, glaube ich. Wieso behältst du das nicht einfach? Hä? Was? Wollt ihr mich verarschen? Das waren 5000? Das waren keine 100 oder so, das waren 5000? Ich denke mal, als Grund nicht getrocknet haben, waren wir mit der Wäsche fertig.
The Gauntlet Runner arrives at the desert camp as the scorching sun sinks below the horizon and the curtain of night falls over the land. Protected within the stalwart hull of the Gauntlet Runner, the party gains a short, peaceful respite.